Hi friends, welcome back to Live at the Roxy. If you guys are having a similar, I don't know, I think there's a collective energy. If you're in the same energy that I am right now, you're in like holy shit energy, and you need a big breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Because the last 24 hours have been nuts. And if you are not in that energy, then stay in your positive place and help push that positive energy towards all of the rest of us who are in holy shit energy. Because I have been in panic mode for like since 7 this morning. And I honestly can't even really, I know this isn't helpful. I can't even really talk about why. So I'm just breathing through it. Gonna do this show today. Gonna have a kick-ass show today, talking about some weird-ass things. And then I'm gonna move on and do my World Girl meeting. And then after that, I'm gonna do a patron thing. And then after that, I'm going to do World Girl Wednesday, where we're going to do AMA. And this is how my logical brain kicks in when my emotional, panicky self comes through. All I think is, okay, what are you going to do? You've game planned it. So you're just going to do those things. And that's what you're going to do. So don't panic. You know what you're going to do. Then after that, you're going to get to work. If you have to pull all-nighters, you have to pull all-nighters. You're just going to do what you're going to do. And that's what you're going to do. So if that helps you guys at all as an early Roxy advice corner, when you are feeling stressed and anxious and panicked, game plan what you're going to do, and then just focus on the one action in front of you. And yes, things like this, Spidey Sensei, are not helpful. Her eyes look funny. Is Roxy Stryer tired? See, that's not fucking helpful, Spidey Sensei. I like you a lot, but in what world is that? Are you listening to me? Did you hear? I'm very stressed out. I have not slept. In what world do you think that's helpful? In what world? This is an advice show, so I'm giving you advice. In what world is it ever helpful to say your eyes look funny? Are you tired? It's not fucking helpful. So just remember that. Remember that in the future when speaking to anybody who's extremely stressed out. The patron thing is that for our one of our tiers, we do individual patron meetings or hangouts one-on-one. And so we have a one-on-one hangout with somebody today. That's what the patron is that you guys are talking about in here right now. Ryan Payne rolling my eyes. Me too. My funny eyes, apparently. Rolling my funny eyes right now. So that Jake says, "Oh, I'll never tell a woman she looks tired or sick." It's not even not to tell a woman that, just like a person. It's not helpful. It's not helpful. We always talk on this show about what is helpful. Is it helpful to tell somebody after they just said how stressed they are that their eyes look funny and that they're tired? Or is it helpful to say things like, "You've got this, girl. We're here for you. Let us know how we can help." You know, which of those things are helpful? Always check in with yourself. Is it helpful? And if you're stressed out, game plan and then just tackle those things that are in front of you. Susie Easton says, "At the gym on Stairmaster watching you to distract me. Haha. Happy to be your distraction, my babe. Happy to be your distraction." Okay, so like I said, tackling the things that are immediately in front of us. We've got a show to do. We got a big show to do. Every show is a big show because there's things in all different walks of life going on today. Number one, right after the show yesterday, I learned that Helen Mirren is going to be in Shazam 2, and I just have a ton of thoughts on that. Very excited thoughts on that. So yeah, just happy to break that down. Number two, this has been something I've been aware of for a few days now, but we haven't spoken about it on the show. And David Dobrik, there's a David Dobrik situation. I will leave it at that for this second. we are going to break it down and talk about it. If you don't know who he is or what it is, we're going to discuss the whole thing. And then also today is Equal Pay Day. So I just kind of wanted to share some of my experiences in that department as well. Plus questions, comments, concerns, streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer and in the super chat, all of that. Those are the things. Yes. Thank you guys for everybody who is in here with me right now, joining us live at the Roxy on this Wednesday, March 24th. You are much appreciated. Let's start with the Streamlabs, see if we can cheer ourselves up a little bit in here. Streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer. Who goes here? I don't even know what that meant. Our first Streamlabs of the day coming from, wow, Weston Ira. You've been the first Streamlabs for a few days in a row now. Hell yeah, Weston. Weston says, just saw on Twitter that Evanston, Illinois is about to become the first U.S. city to offer reparations to Black residents, $10 million over 10 years to Black families affected by racist government policies, etc., from 1919 to 1969. Sounds tricky. Wow. I have not seen this yet. That is something I definitely will be looking into. And thank you for letting us know. I honestly can't comment on this until I have a lot more knowledge in this area. That being said, just based off of what you said, even if it is tricky, this sounds like a step in a positive direction, even if it is tricky. But again, I have not seen the specifics of this, so I will have to look into it to be able to develop an opinion. And would love to hear from you guys. For those of you who know more, please Streamlabs in, super chat in, and let us know what is going on there. Thank you, Weston, for always keeping us informed. Glenn Caesar in the house. Glenn says, continuing to say it, Miles Cosgrove, Brett Hankinson, Jonathan Mattingly arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor. All three of them for killing Breonna Taylor. Justice for all the people who lost their lives due to excessive force. Say their names. I don't know why I got tripped up on that today. Just because I'm getting tripped up on a lot of things. Thank you, Glenn, for that reminder, though. Glenn says, hello and good afternoon with big support. Thank you, Glenn. And it's good afternoon/evening. It's 2 o'clock here. Could be 5 o'clock where you are. Or maybe you're in Europe. Maybe it's late night. Or maybe you're in Australia. I don't know what time it is for you guys. Skittles, Chunk, GPS, RJ, Misdirection, Silver Elf, Zilla, Queen Badges, Dimples, Schmodown, Modi, love to you, Grammy and Papo, peace, bunnies, hugs, and good stuff to you and yours. Thanks, RJ, for being cool and inspiring me. Thank you for encouraging me to do some more introspection, which led to repeating various which led to repeating various mantras as I slept overnight. Before I love myself, I forgive myself, and feeling the true whys of my life healing, I could feel my relaxing and ease returning. That's so great, Glenn. The bricks of my pain and congestion and constriction and stress from various parts of my body were rising up only to be buried away. Literally, it was an interesting and somehow familiar sensation to experience. My body felt aligned, normal without CP. Wow, Glenn, it's so fascinating. I feel like so many studies should be done on you, and so you have so much to share in this department to people who do have CP. It's the next step in a journey, but I haven't seen and felt in years. So thanks for always being there and here for us, RJ. Congrats, good thoughts, and good vibes, and all that's in the works and unfolding for you in 2021 and beyond. Roxy's best, Roxy number one. Yeah. Happy Roxy days. Keep on crushing. Congrats, good thoughts, and good vibes, and all that's soon to unfold and in the works for you in 2021 and beyond. Fuck yeah to the new era. And on garnering all your much-deserved success. Chunk, what's for you is yours. You're earning it because you're fucking fire. You're kind, you're smart, you're unique, and being so unselfishly loving and supportive of others, including strangers on the internet or not, makes you worthy. Your story is important, deserves to be seen and heard. Positive thoughts to you, RJ, and all of the rock stars and world friends. That's you guys who show up and give their support whenever, however they can. Don't forget, when it gets tough, even if you're by yourself, you're not alone. Everyone who's battling, keep on fighting. You're a winner. Let's go, Smets, and everyone fighting for today, tomorrow, and more. Smash cancer all day, every day. Be most excellent, RJ Rockstars. Show up for people who need it. That makes you cool to know, humane, and worthy. Cheers to Fuck Yeah News 2021 and beyond. Cheers to you, Glenn, as I sip my tea. Scalding hot. Hopefully it's okay. Oh, it's a perfect temperature. That never happens. Glenn gave me that good juju for that good temp tea. It's really, burped, not buried. as in belching. Wow. Let me see. Is that what you wrote? My bad if it is. Actually, it doesn't even matter if it's what you wrote because that's what you meant. That's what you meant. Wow, belching literally. I was like, how does it mean buried literally? It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. Well, I'm glad that you're not feeling that frantic energy today. I'm glad that you are on a different wavelength, and I'm glad to absorb some of that positive energy today as well, because we can both have it. So thank you for that. Going back into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, Morse code Z said, just want to say Helen Mirren is my favorite part of Red 2, although Bruce Willis and Mary Louise Parker's back and forth is still entertaining. So Helen Mirren's a gangster. And let's just talk about this now. Get in your questions, comments, concerns, any support that you've got. I am so, so lucky to receive. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer and in the super chat as we talk about this Helen Mirren story. So why did I decide to make this my headline story of the day, even though the David Dobrik news is probably the larger, more clickbaity news? Because I think it's incredible that we live in a world that Shazam, who is a not A-list superhero at this point, because he had his big movie, he's definitely higher up. But I would say Shazam is a B-list superhero. If I called my sister and grandma and asked who is Shazam, neither of them would know. But anybody who knows anything about DC or Marvel at this point would know who Shazam is because of the movie and because he has, of course, become more mainstream. He's been around for a really long time. So Shazam, but Shazam is not Spider-Man. He's not Superman. He's not even the Flash. He's not Batman. He's not Iron Man at this point. He's not Captain America. Not Wonder Woman. You know, he's not one of those big, big names. Everybody knows who that is. So a Shazam movie, a sequel to a superhero movie that is Shazam, gets an actress of the caliber, and not just the caliber, but the specific actress of Helen Mirren. It's unbelievable to me. It's like when Defenders got Sigourney Weaver. And it's like, this is an insane, incredible world that we're living in. When Helen Mirren is in a Shazam movie. I just gotta let that sink in for a second with how far comic book franchise and movies and art has come. That Helen frickin' Mirren is going to be in Shazam Fury of the Gods. She's going to be playing a villain. We saw this before with Cate Blanchett, you know, talking about people on the level of Helen Mirren in Thor. So it's just really exciting. She's playing the villain Hespera, who is the daughter of Atlas. And this is going to be in, again, Shazam Fury of the Gods, which is the sequel to Shazam. This movie is a movie that I've been really excited for quite some time. I obviously got to interview Zachary Levi earlier this year for Big Brother, Big Sister of America for the Ventura County chapter. And he was so fucking nice. I mean, he was awesome on air too. So watching the interview, you could just tell he's great. But even behind the scenes, he was so fabulous and wonderful and sweet and cool and kind and nerdy and just great. So I was excited about that. Thunder God says, I mean, she's in Fast and Furious franchise too, though, Roxy. I know that sometimes big actors take on random blockbusters, but I just think it's incredible that this isn't that. I don't think Shazam's looked at as like Fast and Furious. I think that this is looked at Shazam was a really, really good movie. It was a great film. And Helen Mirren is a megastar. A lot of these people are. I just think it's so cool. The little inner nerd of me that liked comic books and just liked these characters is looking at this like, wow. Just reminding myself that all the time. Like, this is truly so nuts. And wonderful to the place that we've gotten to. So this movie isn't slated to come out until 2023. So we've got a little bit of time based on the last one. Spoiler alert. We know that Adam Brody is going to be in this. Jack Dylan Glazer is reprising his role as well. Marta Milans, who played Rosa. Asher Angel is still coming back for this as well. Faith Herman, who also we interviewed for DC Movie News, who was adorable, with Darla Dudley's coming back. Rachel Zegler was announced to be joining this cast, and she is the girl who was cast as Maria in West Side Story. So we'll be able to see West Side Story before we see this, and that's pretty exciting because she was like plucked out of obscurity off of high school stage, I believe. So she must be freaking phenomenal. Those are the only people on IMDb who currently are credited right now. It's saying that it's going to be directed by David F. Sandberg, so he's coming back to do this. And Henry Gayden is writing this script. So we know all of those things about Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods. And yes, sign me up. Sign me up for all of this. And sign me up for anything that Helen Mirren is doing, because Helen Mirren is just, she's a legend. She's a legend. You look at her, IMDb. Holy crap, guys. She's 133 credits. 133 credits. It says she's most known for Red, The Queen, Hitchcock. I mean, she is just the best of the best. You put her up there with like the Meryl Streeps of the world. Although there's only one Meryl Streep, but still, I'm very excited about this. I love to watch great actors play villains too, because they just bring a whole different level to those characters. So how are you guys feeling? How do you feel about Helen Mirren being cast in this? Are you looking forward to Shazam 2? Is there anything about this movie that has you hesitant, or are you only excited for it? Does 2023 feel right around the corner for you, or just does it feel very far away? Streamlabs in, streamlabs.com/RoxyStrider, and Super Chat in as well. Thank you guys, by the way, for going up with me at this later time today. I know that we've been bouncing around a little bit, but it has been quite the day. Also, let me know anything else you guys want to talk about. Streamlabs.com/RoxyStrider and the Super Chat. As we move on, I'm looking at you guys in the chat. Everybody's just talking about how amazing Helen Mirren is. Because I don't know one person who doesn't like Helen Mirren. Like, how can you appreciate art and performance and be like, nah, but not Helen Mirren? It's just a hard no. We are going to move on to something that is very complicated to talk about. And it's so complicated to talk about because, number one, it's still kind of unfolding. Number two, it is not as... I got to be really careful about how I phrase this. It's not that the situation is not black and white. It's that the person we're speaking about today's part in the situation is not as black and white, even though it still is. Hopefully that makes sense. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me just explain the situation that's going down, and then we can break down the exactly what we think. David Dobrik. Send bunnies in here if you know who David Dobrik is. Send hearts if you have never heard of David Dobrik. I know David Dobrik because he is a massive YouTube star, but I only found him on TikTok. I just never really was somebody who was in the YouTube space like that. Like, I never watched anybody who wasn't a movie reviewer or commentator or anything that wasn't trailers. Like, I just didn't use YouTube for that. And so I only found him on TikTok. But he is one of the biggest YouTube stars ever. Wow, so a lot of bunnies, but also even more hearts than bunnies. So more of you guys don't know him than do know him. Fascinating. Okay, so David Dobrik has like 20 million followers on our subscribers on YouTube, and he has 3 different YouTubes, and he started a whole YouTube group and is on TikTok and is just like a massive influencer. So he is this huge influencer. I will pull him up for the purposes of you guys having a face to the name. And prior to this situation, I will say that I really enjoyed a lot of his stuff. He's just silly. He's goofy. He was funny. And he was funny. He is funny. And he is just very popular. Really popular because he's silly and adventurous. And I think people really liked that aspect of him. So let me pull him up so that you guys can put a face to the name. Not that it is that important, but just so while we're talking about him, you have some kind of a reference point. So anyway, David Dobrik, just take my word for it, this part, big, massive influencer and star with huge deals and multi-million dollars a year that he makes. This is what he looks like. This is David Dobrik. Okay, so here's what happened. David Dobrik was involved with a situation that came to light years ago, but really isn't fully coming to light until now. And if that doesn't make any sense, no worries, I'm going to explain. A woman accused one of David Dobrik's former collaborators. So they were in a group, like, you know how there's these YouTube houses or groups. They were in a group. So one of the guys in his group, one of his collaborators that he hasn't collaborated with in years because they separated years ago, but at the time they were collaborating. This woman accused that creator of rape. And David Dobrik was there that night that she was allegedly sexually assaulted. And that collaborator's name is Dirty Dom, D-U-R-T-E, Dirty Dom. And in 2018, that night, David Dobrik was filming, not inside the room, but at the party and outside the room, and filming him and the other creators listening at the door to what was going on as this girl was allegedly being sexually assaulted. And those videos have since been taken down, but that is what happened. And now this girl has come out and said, and there's a lot of evidence to show this, that she was entirely too fucked up, that she could not be giving consent because she was so fucked up. There was another woman that went in the room with the guy, that the alleged rapist, and her, and that this other girl apparently like finished off the guy because she was so afraid that this guy wouldn't stop trying to hook up with the girl, even though she was too fucked up. So she just wanted like it to stop. And apparently he also blocked her from leaving the room. She said she tried to say no several times and was just way too intoxicated. And David Dobrik was there and was filming situations around the situation. So David Dobrik decided to make an apology video after this came out, and has since made a few apologies videos, and they really did not go well. The videos went very poorly in the eye of public opinion. The first video he posted was on, like I said, I think he has 3 YouTube accounts. Instead of the one with all of the millions and millions of followers, he posted it on one with 1 million followers. Now, some people believe that is because he was trying to bury this. He wanted to apologize, but he didn't want it to go out to all of his millions of subscribers. Other people believe it was because he wasn't trying to make money off of this apology video or get more eyes and ears on himself. And so he was trying to just underplay it so that he was not receiving fame off the situation. I'm not sure, obviously, the intention behind that. In the second video he posted, he said, "I've put myself in a lot of situations where I've needed to apologize for past actions." He said, "I fully believe the woman who came out against Dom and said she was sexually assaulted and raped by him." And he kind of gave more context for the situation. He has apologized. He also was crying in one of his videos. It was more heartfelt. Sky says, "I don't think Roxy's explaining this well." Sky, you tell me how you'd be explaining it. I'm just explaining what I've read and what I believe to have happened. I'm trying to say allegedly, this is how the story went down. You tell me, Sky, what parts are you feeling are missing? And since then, Dobrik has been dropped by the majority of his sponsors. Dobrik was dropped by DoorDash, by Dollar Shave Club, by EA Sports. Those are obviously his big money makers. And they all dropped him. So to my best understanding, that is what's happening in this situation. And that is where we're at with the David Dobrik case. So by no means am I sitting here, and just to clarify, Sky, saying that David Dobrik sexually assaulted anybody. That's not in question right now. That's not part of the story. That is, the thing in question is that he was there, he was filming some things, he released some of that footage. Was he complicit in this? And why is this taken so long to kind of come out? And what should be happening with David Dobrik and his future in the YouTube space, and the story that, and how will he deal with this moving forward, and his sponsors? Sky says, I just mean there's much more to the story. Sky, while you said I wasn't explaining it well, I was literally in the middle of telling the story still. Go ahead, Sky. Give us bullet points that I've missed. I would love to hear whatever, and I mean this seriously. It's only fair to tell an accurate story. This is what I've gathered looking at all of the YouTube videos about this. This is what I've gathered reading all of the articles from LA Times Entertainment and all of the places that have done this. But if I'm missing something, then please, Sky, I want to know which details and what part of the story am I missing. Susie said that there are other YouTubers that have done it. That particular YouTuber is not my favorite person that you're mentioning, Susie. So I don't like to send people over there. But in general, I have seen a lot of YouTube videos on this. So you can check those out. But I'm giving all of the details that I know up to this point. So again, Sky or anybody, if you have more details, please let us know. So my questions to you guys based off of this. What do you believe should happen to David Dobrik? David Dobrik, who did not sexually assault somebody, but who was there, who was filming, who has now apologized and said that was then him, and that he was not aware of what was going on, and that he does not associate with this person anymore, and that he hasn't been in his crew for a while because they had different values and didn't align. Should he be losing all of his sponsors? Should he not be losing his sponsors? What more where should he put his apology? What more would we want to hear from an apology? I want to know all of those things from you guys. I want to know all of those things from you guys. So please let me know when it comes to David Dobrik. Where do you think we should land on him as a society? And how do you think this situation should be handled? Streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer, and in the super chat as well. Please make sure that you're giving your thoughts. I think this is a really complicated, complex situation, and I don't know what the right answer is here, which is why I'm coming to you guys. Glenn Caesar says in the streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer, RJ, I know it's a lot to read, but as always, thank you for speaking it into existence. Yeah, the world's energies are interesting right now, and people are doing their best or not to deal with it, or not. Maybe it's time I opened up and start teaching again. Glenn, I think that would be awesome. And yeah, people are doing their best or not. That is so true. That is so true. Sorry, Roxy, I wasn't trying to come across. I was criticizing you. No, Sky, I'm being serious. I don't need you to apologize. I really want to know, what part of the story do you think I'm missing? What part of the story? Jason says, why is he actually having to apologize? For many reasons, Jason. For being complicit possibly in the situation, for being there and not stepping in, for filming himself, listening in to the sexual activity that was taking place, and everybody laughing about it and being there. So partially for being a bystander. And honestly, it depends on your generation. But I know growing up in school, for my generation, which is David Dobrik, we were taught in school, and this is obviously not all schools, but I went to public school, being a bystander is really dangerous. And even though you might not be the victim, or might not be the bully, if you're a bystander, that's not a good place to be. And if you are witnessing and laughing about at the door a woman getting sexually assaulted, then I believe that maybe not in the court of law, but in the court of public opinion, we're allowed to have feelings and thoughts about that. And sponsors are certainly allowed to have thoughts about that as well. So as he has talked about the situation and said that he did do these things, what do we think about that? What do we think about that? Aaron Hall says this is some promising young woman vibes. I hear you. I love that movie so much, but this is real life. And one of the things David Dobrik talked about is how, because he was recording it and put that on the internet for people to see, listening in on this girl getting sexually assaulted, that girl had to relive the worst day of her life over and over and over again. And other people were watching and laughing at it. And now she's continuously having to relive the worst day and the worst moment of her life. And as people are poking fun and not stepping in, which is kind of horrible. Not kind of, more than kind of. So let me know what y'all are thinking. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, super chat in as well. We are going to be getting out of here relatively soon because I've got so much going on today. And because just does not seem to be the energy seems to be off with you guys. Seems to be a very combative day. All of that stuff. Jason says, the problem needs to be also that the guy who assaulted probably wasn't even charged. So are you blaming the girl, Jason, for not charging him? Because I don't want to speak for you, but it does sound like you're victim blaming here a little bit. Let us know. Jeff Aaron in the super chat says, I did watch another video on the situation which concentrated on consent. Criminal acts have occurred and any/all laws broken should be enforced. Yeah, if somebody is too intoxicated to consent, then it's sexual assault. So, yeah. Sachin says, I don't think he's a bystander. If you've seen the videos, he's clearly fostered that kind of attitude. Everything is okay for views, and that's on him. Yeah, so more than a bystander, you mean? Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me know your other thoughts on this, guys, if you're watching after the fact in the comments. I really am not sure. I think that it is the sponsor's prerogative to pull out from him, and I think it's the viewer's prerogative to make a decision if you don't want to watch this guy anymore. But I think that I also believe that unless he is charged with something, it is his right to continue to make content, and then we get to decide if we watch it or not. Do I think it's smart for him to? No. He said he's taking a step back from social media entirely right now, and we'll see how long that lasts. A lot of people say they're taking a step back, leave for a couple weeks, some for months, some for years. We've seen all different things so far since the Me Too movement has taken place years ago. So we'll see how this plays out. But since we hadn't talked about it here on the show yet, I wanted to inform you guys of what was going on just because he is such a massive, massive star of this generation. And this is a sticky one, a sticky and a tricky one. I don't mean sticky to be a pun. I mean just a tough situation, a challenging one. All right, moving forward. Again, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, super chat in. Any questions, comments, concerns, any other things you want to talk about, any highs and lows, anything else unrelated to these. It is all gravy here on this roller coaster of a show. So let's get to our last thing that I wanted to make sure that we mentioned today. Today's Equal Pay Day. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about is that today is a day to talk about equal pay. And for those of you guys who don't believe this is an issue, that's an issue. That's a big problem because we do not have equal pay in this country. We do not have equal pay in all different parts of the world, but I can only speak as somebody who's worked in this country that we certainly do not have equal pay here. And I can tell you guys this, I have had at least 3 jobs in the entertainment industry, long-lasting jobs, in which I found out that my male counterparts with less experience than me, with less followers than me, were making significantly more money than me. And that has happened to me at least 3 times. There's 3 off the top of my head that I could think of. I would say, actually, there's 4 off the top of my head that I can think of. Far more often than not, I am paid significantly less than my male counterparts. And I'm not talking about male counterparts who have bigger followers or who have more pull or get more eyes and ears. I'm talking about male counterparts who are either on the same level as me with that or less. And in so many, and especially places that you guys have watched me, over and over again, that I find out because people like me and somebody will tip me off to the fact, which they're not allowed to do, and so it's really hard to prove, that I'm not making as much money. And that has happened in the vast majority of places that you guys have seen me or that I work. And when people ask them, why don't you leave? Because then you're making no money. So I'm here to tell you guys that firsthand, this has happened to me several times. And one time when I brought it up because I found out that I was making significantly less than my 2 male counterparts, I was fired. And that is super illegal. And they claimed that I was being let go for other reasons. But that was certainly not the case. So I just want to let you guys know that, for those of you who are thinking that this isn't happening to people that you know, or this is kind of an exaggeration, it's happened to me my entire career. And the sole reason it is happening is because I have a vagina. So that is wildly fucked up. And I really, really think that it is so important for people to acknowledge that and to know that, so that they know that this issue is real when we're talking about it. Because I think when it's out of sight, it's out of mind. And especially as I have a massive male audience compared to my female audience, and compared to my non-binary audience. By the way, where my non-men at? Hi guys, I see you, and I see your lack of funds because we are paid less. This is real. So, and that is like the truth and the reality of the situation that we are living in. Bernie Sanders tweeted out today, I do not think in the year 2021 that we should continue to accept a reality which sees women paid 82 cents for every $1 men are paid for doing the exact same job. I believe we can achieve economic justice in this country. That means equal pay for equal work. And that's on average. So if you think about that, if you think about somebody making $100,000 a year, and then the same job, same experience woman is making $82,000 a year. And now take that smaller and take that larger. Because it just shouldn't be. It just should not be. So that Dan Price, who is a CEO, he's a CEO and he cut his pay by $1 million so his workers could make at least $70,000 per year. He wrote a book called Worth It, and he tweeted out today saying, our wage gap is 0. Want to know our secret? We advertise our pay levels so no one is secretly making less than their coworkers. Sometimes this stuff really is that simple. And we don't see that in this industry or in work almost ever. It's very, very important that we acknowledge that this is real. And then you fight for, if you're a man, you fight for women to make equal pay, because you shouldn't be okay making more than somebody else is making just because of the way they were born. You should not be okay with that. Nobody should be okay with that. In the same way that we shouldn't be okay making less. Curtis Mason says, my wife and I were hired on the same day for the same job. My starting pay was $3 more than hers, but management wouldn't give an answer as to why. Ridiculous. And that adds up. And it adds up. And of course, you guys share that information, and I see that kind of thing all of the time. And this is not a woe is me pity party. This is not a I'm the only one. This is so many of my women friends. We all face this. We all face this. In the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, Apollo 3JP says late, so missed some info. Is the guy who did the assault getting as much shit as Dobrik? Yeah, I think he's been almost completely canceled, or whatever we call that. Both should be condemned. Yeah, but Dobrik is the bigger name, so thus he's an easier target. Sponsors can do what they want, but they're motivated by money, not morals. Yeah, I think that the other guy is getting really hammered, but he already had been hammered. And sponsors, of course, are motivated by money, and they think that being attached to him is going to make them less money. Rob Fitchbeck in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, here's to the best show on the planet. Thanks for always being there and being the best ever. Sorry you are having one of those days. I found screaming into pillow helps relieve the pressure for at least a few moments. LOL. Yeah, now that I live in an apartment building, though, I can't scream into pillows because even though it's not that loud, it's still too loud for that. But thank you. Paul 3JP says not saying that's right, by the way, just making an observation. Yeah. Hitman Hudson in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, happy Equal Pay Day. Proud to be giving you the same amount I gave Roka and so forth. Thanks, Hitman. We must continue to fight for better enforcement of our laws so scummy corporations can't continue to cheat women out of equal pay. Hitman Hudson, you're awesome. Thank you for that. Hitman Hudson also said, oh, he just wrote it twice. Thanks, Hitman Hudson. Did you writing it twice mean that you actually gave me double what you gave Roka? $1 and $1? What? Let a sister know. We are going to be getting out of here. I'm going to take any last minute Streamlabs before I go. Streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. One coming in from Garth Harkness McMurray, who says, news from Boston. Our first Black female mayor has been sworn in today. I'm so happy. Looking forward to a future where there are no more firsts and all people have been in all jobs and all get paid equally based on their work, not their gender or race. Yes to that. Yes to that, Garth, 100%. Mark Jason Ali in here. Thank you for the huge support. Mark Jason Ali in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, hi, Roxy. I don't think Dobrik was apologizing because he's sorry, more because he's sorry he got caught for being complicit. Hopefully justice will be done. Assault of any kind is deplorable and unacceptable. How'd it go with Grammy getting her hair did? Oh, thank you for asking. We got it done. We got her hair done. It was upsetting. It was hard to get her in and out, and she was in a lot of pain the whole time, and she was just not in good spirits, and I wanted to go out to eat with her, but instead she had me go pick stuff up and bring it back, and I was just really hoping it was going to be a positive experience, but I think it wasn't. And we kind of bickered, and yeah, I just have to keep on working at it. It's going to be a slow transition back into the world for a lot of other people, but thank you so much for asking. And her hair looks great. Now it looks great. So hopefully looking in the mirror feels a little better for her too. Thank you so much for checking in. TC Suarez says, hi, Roxy. Thanks for all you do. Just got here, but want to support. Of course, it's been a strange one, TC. It's been a strange one. So thank you for coming in and thank you for supporting. I really appreciate you. I need it. I love it. I appreciate it and all of those things. Okay. All right. We're going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for joining Live with Roxy on this Wednesday, March 24th. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure the time yet because I think I might have to go to an appointment for Grammy in the morning. But I'll keep you guys posted on Patreon and on Twitter. And we will be going live. So thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having these challenging conversations with me that are not fun and not easy sometimes. But then also for talking about Helen Mirren, because that's fucking fun and easy. And I would do that 10 out of 10 days. Check your internet. Make sure you blow on it. The flumes, toilet seats down. Make your bed. Brett, Miles, Jonathan, arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor. All three of them for killing Breonna Taylor. Don't try with the Holocaust. It's a big one. They're all pretty big ones. And stay safe. Stay sane. I love you guys lots. If you haven't looked at World Girls merch yet, please go do so. It's pretty fucking awesome. I'll see you guys tomorrow live with Roxy.